Good evening, everyone. Before we begin, just a quick check. Am I audible loud and clear? Please say yes or no in the chat box. If I'm audible, please say yes. Thank you for your response. So we'll start the webinar shortly. Yes, everyone. So we will start in another 2 minutes. So we are expecting few more audience. So thank you for joining us today. So I'm Akhil Dikshit and I'll be your moderator for today's insightful session. So before we get started, a quick note. If you face any technical difficulties, feel free to drop a message in the chat box and we will assist you. Also, we encourage you to share your thoughts and questions in the Q&A session at the end, right? We will start the session in 2 minutes. All right. So thank you for joining again. So before we begin, I would like to take a moment to introduce you to WebSol. So WebSol has a rich legacy that dates back to 1988 when it was established as a part of Wipro's domestic IT business. Over the years, we have grown into a leading IT services and solution provider, help information and digital workplace solution. Some key milestones. In 1991, we partnered with Epson to set up our first manufacturing facility in Mysore. In 2002, we pioneered the print and save managed print service model. In 2005, we expanded operations with a second factory in Baddi, which is in Himachal Pradesh. In 2011, we listed on Bombay Stock Exchange as Web Solutions Limited. In 2017, we launched Web Digital, which is strengthening our commitment to enterprises and digital transformation. And in 2020, we integrated multiple business units under a unified strategy for seamless IT services. So Websol has been a trusted partner over 500 enterprises managing IT services across 2000 plus locations in India. With over 20 years of industry experience, we have built a strong reputation for delivering reliable and innovative solutions. Our expertise has been recognized like DMS Solution Company of the Year 2022 by CIO and being named India's number one MPS company by IBC USA for 3 consecutive years, 2017, 18, and 19. Today, we continue to drive digital transformation and operational efficiency for business across the country. And at Websol, we understand that a modern workplace isn't just about having the right tools, it's about making them work seamlessly together. That's why we created FluidWorks, a comprehensive suite of managed IT solutions designed to simply optimize the future-proof your business operations. Fluid Work is built on 4 key pillars. The first one is Fluid Pro, which is managed IT services, which is designed to enhance the workplace experience from end user support to IT infrastructure management. We ensure your technology works for you, not against you, right? The second one is Fluid Print, which is a smarter way to manage your print environment. We help enterprises reduce costs, improve security, and integrate printing into their IT workflows. The third one is Fluid Map, which is your IT asset should work efficiently, not just exist. So with Fluid Map, you can track, manage, and optimize your entire IT asset ecosystem, ensure better control, compliance, and cost efficiency. And the last one is the Fluid Trail, uh, where business processes shouldn't slow you down. Fluid Trail enables scalable workflow automation and document management, which ensures smoother operations, better compliance, and faster decision making. So let's do a quick poll. We request everyone to participate by simply responding yes or no. All right. So this poll is to requesting the demo. Maybe in future, like we would take you through the tool today. So if you want to have our executive take you through these tools and explain you in person, maybe in the later stages of this call, maybe next week or sometime, if you would like to have that demo, please say yes. All right. The poll will last for another 10 seconds. I see a lot of responses. All right. So I will end the poll in next 2 seconds. All right. So thank you, everyone. So let me quickly introduce you to today's speaker, Mr. Hemant. He's a senior IT infrastructure specialist, VMware and server architect with over 10 plus years of experience. Hemant is a seasoned IT infrastructure professional with over a decade of hands-on experience in managing and optimizing enterprise-grade server environments. His expertise spans across enterprise, machine learning, and DL servers, Blade architecture, VMware clusters, and Windows servers ecosystems. And he is known for his customer first mindset and deep technical problem solving skills. Hemant has led and support 24/7 availability. From RAID technologies to vSphere environments, he is well versed in both the architecture and real world challenges of today's IT infrastructure. In this webinar, Hemant will decode vulnerability and pen testing. So let's all welcome Mr. Hemant.
Hello everyone. Good evening, and once again, I appreciate all the participants who have taken this time to join this webinar. In today's webinar, as we discuss, the agenda for us is to take a look at what exactly is vulnerability assessment and what is pen testing, and how this can be crucial and very important for our business in terms of various compliance standards and so on and so forth. Now, with that, we the first thing what we're going to look into is how a VAPT can help us with various security and compliance standards. We can also build a plan within the solution for your respective business in terms of the way the framework needs to be designed and so on and so forth. To also introduce about our partner, which is Pulseway. I also represent Pulseway. We as Pulseway have been in this industry for more than 15 plus years. Now we have been managing more than 20 lakh endpoints globally. Today, the number of partners that we have with various MMEs are close to 13,000 plus, with various 60 plus recognition awards, which are listed some of the very popular ones. We are also rated 4.8 and plus 580 is the review standards. And I can also read out what the Deputy Director of Digital Service from University of Auckland has mentioned, Mr. Yugen Chan. The best part is that Pulseway alerts us to any issues before users even notice any slowdowns. User satisfaction has gone up, our workload has gone down, and the total price tag has been almost negligible. So the whole motto and purpose of we entering into the space of IT is to help various industries similar to yours to speed up and make the best out of every issue to be resolved at a faster pace, and an efficient free software to manage your endpoints as well as in terms of security. With regard to the current architecture that you guys might be part of today, you might have less staff and resources, but the threats in the real world are constantly growing. Right now, if you look into various of the surveys which has been taken, every 20 seconds a cyber attack happens in our country, with that kind of threats growing and evolving. Because you might say, I have an antivirus, why should I fear? Right, so the today's advancements in the space of security attacks has gone much beyond than an antivirus because of the evolution. Hence, with these complex protocols, it's good to always look into solutions which can best defend us. And today's call is all about understanding how our solution, which is VAPT, which can comprehensively help us as a business to better perform. Move on to the next slide. Now, does the threat of a breach keep you up at night? So basically, there's there's always a real potential threat, and if the threat is something, if we don't address any time, this particular threat can get into a breach by these cyber criminals. Now, what exactly are a threat? Now, this could be a kind of a misconfiguration, a vulnerability in your software or the OS, or certain open ports which probably needs to be addressed. So in your infrastructure or network, with the limited time and tools, it might be very difficult for you to manage these things. And definitely nobody likes to be awake late night to be alerted about the breach and fix those problems, because it's beyond even our ability at times to fix a breach. So, with these rising issues, how exactly is our tools and our solution is capable to help you is what we're going to see. Go ahead. We'll go to the next slide. Now, most of the times, we have failed to even realize that there is a problem which exists, because we are under an impression that today, whatever we have is completely safe and secure from every possible risks, which could be also overconfidence that we might have at times. And if it is not properly validated, can even lead to various business impact. So the only way to identify if, let's say, our environment is really safe or not is to go ahead and run various scans to identify the vulnerabilities in our business. And how do we discover it? And how do we prioritize these risks? The categories in terms of severity, is it having a CVSS score, which is the usual score techniques that we measure a risk, whether it's high or medium or low? And Apache multiple, as you can see, uh, I'm not sure if I believe there's some technical glitch.
Yeah, I think Hemant Akhil dropped off. Let me quickly call him.
Sorry for the trouble, folks. Just stay with us for a while. We are going to continue from where we left. In the meantime, I see one of the hands raised in the chat. I think Harsh Singh has some question. You want to type the question over there, Harsh? Bhavesh? Akhil, can you hear us? Okay, Akhil is back.
Yeah, I can hear. I got some. My
Okay.
screen is visible.
Yes, now we can see it. Thank you for that. All right. So yeah, we can stop here. We no no yeah, we'll continue from here. Now, as you can see in the left side, from 1.0 to 9.8. So basically the score is ranked between 0 to 10, the 10 being highest. That's why the color code also changes. Anything above 7 is going to be red in color. Anything between 4 to 7.5, in fact 7 is all amber, and because these are medium risks, anything below 4 is also considered as low risk or informational, which needs to be addressed. Now, 10 is considered as critical. That's why on the far right, when you see 10, it's having a different color code, which is similar to maroon. Now, why we need to identify risks in different priority is because based on priority, you will have to take the remediation steps at a faster pace. Let's say the risk is super high, above high category, which is above 7. If you continue to delay remediation, anytime your environment can get breached, right? So hence we identify risks and prioritize these risks and plan the remediation to fix them. We can go on to the next slide. Akhil, you can go to the next slide. Okay. Pen testing goes beyond vulnerability scanning. Now, we are also not only talking about identifying vulnerabilities, we are also talking about pen testing. Now, what is this word pen testing means? Right? So I'm going to give a simple example, the layman examples, just to help you all understand what is the difference between identifying vulnerabilities and what is the meaning of pen testing. Now, let's say you have an environment with all the machines in place. A vulnerability scanner is going to scan your environment and showcase the vulnerabilities which are identified within your organization. A pen testing is a solution where we are going to run an exploit, right? So this is basically going to exploit your network like a real time hacker, how a hacker would go ahead and do it. In a similar way, our tool, which is safe tool, will go ahead and exploit your network and find out what are the possible things that as a hacker today I can extract. Is there any passwords that I can take out of it? Is there any other important aspects which I can go ahead and do it? So all of these can be done within the solution, right? So that's what we are going to take a look in today's call as well. So with that, as this slide tells, what are vulnerability, exploitable, and yeah, so here we see that the price for today for you to go ahead and run one-time pen test in the market is significantly high, and it also takes more than 2 weeks to 1 month to get these pen tests completed with the current solutions which are there in the market. And then it's just a one-time test that you're going to get. And 93% of the SMBs consider pen testing important for meeting a compliance. So all the businesses today require these SMBs to address it. So with this, what I wanted to tell is the current problem is it's not like there are no pen testing solutions out there. There are definitely pen testing solutions. It's just that they're way too expensive and it takes a long time. It's just a one-time test that they're going to do. And considering the growing, importance of insurance claims and all that compliance-related standards, they might not be able to help you fully. So that is why we came up with a solution for this problem which can help us. We'll move on to the next slide. So the solution over here is the price wise, we are going to completely bring down the entire pen test and not just pen test, but also the vulnerability assessment to pretty much 50%. And we don't have to really wait for 2 weeks or months within the possible within a day, we will be able to retrieve these results. And this is not something a one time only solution. This can be done on a frequent basis. That's what the on demand is basically all about. We also do provide compliance reports, which is as per the industry regulations like PCI and HIPAA. Hence, it's a value for money. Move on to the next slide.
Yes, Hemant, before we go to the next slide, I would like to run a poll for the audience.
Okay.
Just give me. I hope the poll is visible to everyone. So the question
Yes,
is,
yes.
how often does your organization perform VAPT testing? Right? So every quarter, once a year, only after an incident, or just considering it now at this moment. All right. So I see very good responses here. Good to know that, like many of them are doing it on a quarterly basis, right? All right, so the poll will last for another 5 seconds. I request all the audience to please take time and vote. Okay, so we'll end the poll here. Thank you so much.
Okay. All right. We'll move on to the next slide. Now, what are the benefits to the organization with these solutions? Number one, we are not only just identifying various vulnerabilities, we are also going to test security controls within the platform. We also get these compliance ready reports, which can be directly utilized for our business side of for the business frameworks. Let's say if you would like to go ahead and get it attested, these reports will straight away help you. We're also backed up by security experts, which are the veterans who will be managing the solution for you, who will also vet the reports before even they get published. In terms of even pricing, instead of paying huge amount of money or cost, which would be incurring elsewhere, this with our solution, it's going to reduce it to minimal. And with also establishment of security baseline, we'll be able to achieve maximum efficiency with the solution. We'll move on to the next slide. Now, at this point in time, let's say if I'm running a business in various of our environments, could you be at risk? How do I know whether my environment today is that vulnerable? So far, an attack has not happened. I completely agree. But if, let's say, I have not validated if my environment is at risk or not, how sure are you that tomorrow there won't be any possible breach or an attack in your environment? So I want to leave with that question, and that's what this whole slide is all about, because there's a survey which was taken to showcase how many of the SMBs data breaches has happened in the past and what sort of uh, these are available readily. So with that, we'll move on to the next slide. So what exactly do these hackers basically want? Now, this cyber criminals basically would either need your credit card information or PII information. PII stands for personally identifiable information, which can be sold in dark market, which is dark web, right? Now, they also have a possible ways to breach and infect your devices with ransomware and start demanding huge ransom of money to unencrypt the files or folders. If they are able to capture some critical important files which belong to your business, these files could be a catastrophic loss if fallen under wrong hands, like your competitors, etc. So that's what this whole thing is all about. We'll move on to the next slide. Now, I hear your voice, like most of you may would have always mentioned, I have an antivirus, I have a firewall in place, and I also make sure I don't use public Wi-Fi and all that basic. The security awareness is something that you all have. Fair enough, which is very good. I appreciate that. But with the growing risks which are happening in today's advancement, these solutions are not sufficient to help our environment prevent from every possible attack. Because vulnerabilities, the way how it is getting classified is under various segments in different layers of security. In order for us as an organization to go ahead and analyze these, we definitely need strong tools like what we're going to see in today's call to firstly recognize and detect anomalies and also prioritize these issues and give us actionable items to remediate them soon before the possible breach. Move on to the next slide. Next.
Hemant, I
Yeah,
think I will stop sharing the screen and I think you can take it from here.
sure.
Yeah.
All right.
Ah, thank you.
Let me go ahead and share my screen. Do let me know if you're all able to see it, and we'll start from there. I believe you're all able to see it. Let
Yes,
me
begins.
go ahead and hide the controls. So, so first we are going to take a look at the vulnerability assessment platform, how this is going to help us. So pretty much very straightforward solution. You will go ahead and add an organization over here, name your organization with the brand that you have. You can also customize this platform with your branding. Once after you add an organization, within each organization, you can add as many sites as you want. So we will be using WorldScan as our product and name the organization, whatever that it is, in terms of the site. The moment you select these and proceed, one of the site would get created. Now, within each and every site, we have an ability to go ahead and run internal and external scans. Now, with regard to external vulnerability scan, we really don't have to deploy any software or anything at all. Directly from our data centers, we can go ahead and perform vulnerability scan against your websites, external facing websites and IPs and DNS. When it comes to internal, which is within your network, we have something called data collector, or we also call it a virtual appliance, which you can go ahead. So this can be installed either on a Hyper-V or a VMware, or there's a Docu container by itself, which you can put it on either on a Raspberry Pi or any Ubuntu. And then we also have work if people are working from home remotely and they're not part of Active Directory and they don't have any proxy or VPN. We also have discovery agents for Windows, Mac, and Linux. Now, with these protocols, I will be able to deploy one for within the office network, which is internal, one for external, and then one, of course, for the work from home employees who are not part of Active Directory. Now, once these data collectors are added, you can also feel free to create user accounts for yourself with role-based permissions on what sort of things that they would like to see. We have a friendly dashboard which gives you all the once these scans run, it's going to bring in all the data. Now, the way how the scans work here is you will be having an option to create a task at the beginning, whether it's an internal or external. The moment you choose internal, there are three kinds of scan. The first one is low impact scan, which we recommend on a daily basis. You can run this on a daily basis because these are quick scans. It's going to quickly run a scan within your network to identify if there are any new risks or vulnerabilities that needs to be addressed. Then we also have standard scan, which also includes a brute force. Basically, it's going to run TCP ports as well as top 1000 UDP. And with the standard scan, we recommend to run on a weekly basis, which is weekly once. And these can even take close to 20 to 30 minutes. Finally, the comprehensive scan, which usually we recommend to run once a month because this might take significant amount of time and resources on the load on the network. So this can be run once in a month, but it pretty much runs a scan across the entire network and bring those results. Now, with these scans running on a constant basis, the vulnerability scanners are not just a one-time thing, it's a life cycle because every time there's a new threat or the issues which are not yet resolved can always be addressed. On the dashboard, you get to see the four tabs, all internal, external, and discovery agents, all comprises of the three components, which is internal is within your firewall, all the networking devices and workstation servers, virtual machines, laptops, whether they're Windows or Mac or Linux. And external is basically your public facing websites, DNS, IPs, external IPs, etc. Discovery agents are those people who are remotely working and putting together all the vulnerabilities across the organization. I categorize based on CVE scores. So, like I said, critical are those which has a CVSS score of 10, and the remaining high is between 7 and 9.8. The medium risks are considered as between 4 and 5. No, 4 and 7. And then the low impact is something between 0 to 4, which are informational. Now, with these collectors running the scans over a period of time, I can be able to narrow down each and every issue. And when I have to open it, it also gives me a quick highlight about what is the summary, what is the machine on which this is identified, what is the impact, what's the solution, and what's the OID. And I can mark it as resolved or copy to clipboard, create a ticket, cancel it, or if you would like to mark it as false positive, you can also go ahead and do that. The multiple, not just these, but any security risks can be identified from here. If you want to drill down, you can go even to the scan results page. You can also generate reports from here by issue type, basically a issue across all, or based on a specific device, what are the vulnerabilities identified in any category in last 5 days, last 30 days, based on any CVSS score. For what scan type, you can also filter based on any keywords. With all that vulnerabilities coming inside these devices, the moment you go ahead and open them, it's not only going to highlight what is the risk, it's going to give you a solution how to fix it and with the reference articles with which you will be able to go ahead and fix the problem. Now, we also have report section. Now, we have multiple reports over here. We have executive summary, weekly trend report, how this particular week has been in terms of vulnerability assessment, then the monthly trend, then open ports report across the organization. If there's anything identified, you can always customize theme, logo, and branding over here also, in case if you would like to provide this as a service. So this way, you will have an efficient tool performing a vulnerability scanner across your entire network. If you have multiple location, we can add multiple sites to get this done. So with this, we were able to see how vulnerability assessment is so easily performed on a repetitive mode to analyze and assess different risks and issues within our environment, and how do we go about fixing them and rerunning the new scans to identify newer risks. So this is a constant life cycle to proceed on to ensure our environment is safe from every possible risks. With that, we'll move on to the next section, which is pen testing. Now, like I said, the difference between the vulnerability assessment and pen testing is vulnerability assessment just gives you all the vulnerabilities identified after a scan. Now, pen testing is penetrating, which is exploiting like a hacker your actual network, your firewalls, your devices, hashes, passwords, everything. Now, this is going to have a UI something like this where you can log in. You can add your organization. If you want to create user accounts for your fellow colleagues, you can always go ahead and give role-based permissions. With that, there is an agent only that you will have to have it deployed, which is a Docker container itself within the network on any one machine. Once that agent is deployed, it's pretty straightforward and simple. We just go ahead and run an assessment. Just a moment here. Let me go ahead and launch the product one more time. Now, with the tools like vulnerability scanner and WannaHigh, which is our pen testing, coming together, we are going to get a solution called VAPT, which is vulnerability assessment plus pen testing, right? So I'm going to click on schedule an assessment and take you through a journey on how easy it is to go ahead and run a pen test. First and foremost, you can go ahead and select your respective organization, choose choose the location. What kind of assessment would you like to run? External pen test or internal? And just so you are aware, this is just a network pen testing solution that we are offering currently. We don't have application pen testing or cloud or SaaS based application pen testing today. It's just on your network for the devices, the networking devices, the OS devices, pretty much in all the infrastructure, we're going to perform network pen testing. Now, once after you choose the assessment type, we're going to pick and choose an agent. If you'd like, we also have an AI-based enhanced executive report. How soon would you like to receive this report? Fastest you get is 2 business days because our backend team is going to vet these reports prior sending it to you. We are also CREST certified. Basically, CREST is an organization in APAC region who are authorized to go ahead and provide us as an attestation across various of these pen test results. We are tied up and partnered with them, and because of which all our reports will have CREST certified. So that way your clients can be rest assured or yourself that these results are completely valid. You can pick and choose a time zone and what during what day and time would you like to have this pen test run, and how frequent would you like to have this pen test run. It's not like only one time and pay so much. Rather, you can keep running this constantly to ensure your environment is risk free. You can also manually add any IPs to include or have any IPs to exclude. Any VIP devices can be always excluded, like CEO, executives. Otherwise, you can give an entire range of devices or bulk import the IPs. Now, post which we have people who would have to be alerted or notified. You can add their email addresses. So they will be alerted every time the scan performs, runs, completes, and the progress. Finally, there's an acknowledgement that you are authorized to run this pen test so that tomorrow nobody is going to raise alarms or flags. So you just go ahead and fill in this and finally run the test. So with this, we were able to see how easy it is to go ahead and perform a pen test assessment. And with that, let's take a look at one or two samples of how exactly would this solution look like when an actual pen test has already completed. So I'm going to take an example of completed assessments. So we'll take it from there and see how this is going to help us. So the moment I go to the completed, I'll be able to see the reports and the ones which is already completed. Some of these are external. Let me probably pull up. Okay, let me take this example. Okay, there you go. So this was the whole process of pen test from the beginning. Now, how did it started on the day number one and how the progress happened? What sort of things were exploited during the whole process of pen testing? What are the findings in terms of criticality? Under the information gathering, it will also start recording these things. What are the ports listed and opened in terms of findings also based on risks? As you can see, total attached hosts, the risk score, the evidence, and in fact, if you would like to view this evidence also, it's there black and white. And it also gives you finding details about what is this root cause and severity description, recommendation, security impact, reproduction steps, references, the affected devices. So this is something that you can always take a look. And once you receive these results, you can also see them on the reports. I will showcase some of these reports for today. So that way you get an idea about how this would probably look like. So here was this report again can be white labeled the team logo branding. It's an activity report basically to tell you what are the different steps that it performed to complete this whole process of pen test. When did it start and when did it end? Now, consolidated report is the major report that we will be using on a evaluation and assessment purpose, where this will give you a deep like the comparison with the previous findings. What are the insecure protocols, configuration deficiencies, egress filtering deficiencies, the roadmap in terms of the threats itself? What are the main ones which were discovered here? And based on we follow a MITRE attack framework, which also shows you the tactics and techniques which were adapted for these purposes on credential access, brute force, network service discovery, so on and so forth. And gives you a in-depth engagement scope of work and what tasks were performed in terms of the attack itself. what are the evidences and what were the findings out of this attack, and what are the TTP ID, which is a technique which is usually adapted in the MITRE attack framework, and the complete description about what is this all about for with the evidence, and what's the severity of that particular specific risk, what is our observation, security impact, affected nodes, recommendations, reproduction steps, evidence. So it's a quite a lengthy report, but if you take a look, these are the issues which were identified as a high risk within that specific organization. There are much more reports, but keeping time in hand, I'm not going through each and every report. So you would have got an idea by now how exactly is our pen testing solution. It's so easy to run. You don't have to depend on third-party vendors who can run one-time pen test with minimal data, and you will have to wait for weeks and months to get those data, and that too not full-blown solution. With our solution, you can run frequently. You yourself can perform these pen tests with crest validation. At the same time, the price wise, it's definitely going to be a game changer for you with what the market players are going to charge. We are much cheaper than them in terms of pricing, but in terms of quality of the solution, much higher than what they offer. So with the combination of pen test and vulnerability assessment, we have a VAPT bundled services, which is suitable and perfect for your business. So that way you identify the risks and threats today before it's too late. And the moment you identify them, you start to remediate them, because we also provide you the remediation steps with the help of which you get to remediate these issues and try and keep running these tests on a regular basis to identify if there are any new risks, new issues. And if there are no risks and issue, you can be rest assured at that point in time saying that our environment is safe from any possible cyber attack or breach. So with that, I would like to conclude today's webinar, and we would like to open for any questions.
Any questions? And at the meantime, I would like to run one more poll, the last one. I hope the poll is visible to everyone. What do you think is the most common entry point for hackers, right? Is it the weak passwords or phishing emails or unpatched systems or misconfigured networks? Okay, I see there are good responses. Okay, the poll will last for another 5 seconds. I request everyone to vote. All right, so I will end the poll here. We'll take the questions from the audience.
I think we have the first question.
Yeah.
Bhavesh Patel, how developer do self VAPT testing after developing website? Which tools are used? Which are open source? So first and foremost, Bhavesh, the solution that we are offering is a network pen testing solution. We currently do not have any applications, SaaS applications, website pen testings. However, what we can help you with is we have something called external pen testing. Basically, what it means is, let's say if your website has public facing external IP, we can perform an external pen test up to your website using either the DNS name or the external IP address from our data center. And then we can share those results on what are the findings that we observe could be a potential threat on your website. This is what we can do. I hope that answers your question. The second question is by Harsh Singh. Actually, I want to ask you, can you schedule a VAPT testing? Sure, Harsh. Please reach out to uh, our friend here. So you have you given your email address, Akhil?
I'll drop my email ID and my mobile number in the chat box.
Okay, please do so.
Yeah.
So Akhil will be sharing his mobile number and email address. Please watch out for it, Harsh. Reach out to Akhil post the meeting. He will help you schedule a VAPT testing, and based on those, we'll take it forward. I think the same Harsh Singh also has typed weak password. Okay, then Arvinda Chari has also asked a question. Is the tool perform the authentication scan for internal network Windows and Linux OS? Answer is yes. We go ahead and also perform different kinds of authentication scans indeed, not just within the Windows and Linux, even if you have networking devices, Mac devices, and servers, everything. We're going to perform the entire infrastructure network pen tests and vulnerability assessments and give you a detailed report with which you will be able to assess and analyze and remediate for future purposes. Deepak has a question on the chat. Kindly share the details to reach out for more information about tools and services. So Deepak, please watch out for Akhil's email address and phone number. I think Akhil, it's better you drop it right now because people will be slowly leaving. So can you drop your email address and phone number?
Hey Hemant, this is
It is
Mahesh.
on the chat, Hemant. Yeah.
Hey, hi Hemant.
Hi.
So this is Mahesh. So I have a couple of questions on your platform. Is it a first question? Is it a SaaS-based platform or how? What is the communication between the server scanner and the endpoints? Is it agent-based or agentless?
Very good question. So the solution where we are talking about vulnerability assessment for the internal scanning, there is, so if you would have noticed one of my slides, I did showcase that you will have to install something called data collector in your own on-premise environment, which is the one which is going to perform the scans. Once these scans are done, of course, it's going to showcase these into our platform. Our platform is SaaS-based, but completely end-to-end encrypted, SOC 2 Type 2 compliant software. So you don't have to worry that the data is not being leaked anywhere. It's completely encrypted. In fact, even we will not have access to it. You will be able to log in into the portal to be able to view these under the dashboard, under the reports, to see different vulnerabilities. In the similar way, in terms of pen testing as well, we will be installing a docu container inside one of your networks. It's an agent, basically, only one per network, which will go ahead and perform the pen test for the entire network and share these results with us. And our internal pen testers will vet these before we publish the reports after the CREST accreditation.
Then how the work from home devices are communicating with the tool?
Now, that's why we have discovery agents for Windows, Mac, and Linux. So you might have to install agents on work from home devices separately. There's a three categories: internal, external, discovery agents. Internal is all the devices within the network. External is your websites, which we don't have to install anything. Directly, we are going to perform the test from our data centers into your websites, external facing. And then work from home devices are going to come under discovery agents, where you have to drop an agent for all the work from home machines, whether they're Windows or Mac or Linux. We have agents for them.
Okay, these agents are continuously communicating with the tool, and we'll get the real-time dashboards there.
Absolutely. In fact, I'm going to share a document on the chat if you would like. Please refer this document, or yeah, drop on the link. You can take a look at how these
Okay.
agents are.
One more question on the CVSS score you discussed, right?
Mhm.
So generally, your tool is considering only the CVSS score, right? Even
One
the
of the
low
aspect is CVSS, one is CVEE, then weak configurations, then insecure protocols, then open ports, Apache server SSL certificates. So there are multiple ways, but to categorize in prioritizing in the report based on CVSS, it would be more easy and sensible because we can rank the issues based on 0 to 10. Anything above 9.8, which is maroon in color, which will be high category issue for us to immediately resolve. We'll not wait.
Understood.
Anything
But in other scenarios, prioritizing the vulnerabilities are quite different. It not based on the CVSS, because even the low CVSS score, vulnerability open and exposed device is a high prioritize, right? So how
no,
you are definition, how
no,
we
the
can
low
prioritize
priority
those?
are the low priority are not open ports. Low priority issues are some of the things like probably an optional patch for your Windows, which can also be installed to protect your device, which might not be a major issue where a potential risk for a hacker to enter into a device. The high priorities and high severities are the ones which are dangerous, which are very easy for a hacker to penetrate.
But what my point is, even the CVSS score is 6 or 7, which is there in exposed device,
Mm-hmm.
then compared to CVSS score 10 in an internal device.
Mm.
So how you are prioritizing
What
this?
is an external device according to you?
Exposed device in the sense, with a web server like.
Which is a high severity for us. So
How you
whether
are
it's
depending entirely on the CVSS score of vulnerability, right?
the CVSS score for us is not based on a specific device or not based on a specific environment. It's based on the attributes, what has already been listed as high, critical, and medium and low. Now, anything falling under high and critical, as like I said, mentioned before, from 7 to 10 are considered for us to be immediately addressing these issues. And anything lesser than 10, sorry, lesser than 7 is something which is not like we have to leave it. We have to resolve it. Maybe we can take a breather. It need not be immediate. It can also wait before we fix the primary issues.
Do your product have any other prioritization score, like how the tool differentiate whether the device is exposed or internal device? So based on the CVSS score and exposure calculation, can we make it as a score like?
So for today, we are currently rating the scores based on CVSS within the platform for us to make it easy, even non-technical people for whom understanding vulnerability can be sometimes a bit more comprehensive. At least looking at these scores, they can start picking up this high critical and then go to the medium and low and start fixing these issues to ensure this works. For today, we have the chart based on CVSS score. I hope that answers the question, Mahesh. So Mahesh, now
Yes.
that I believe, I'm sure you have more questions and more things,
Yep.
we can schedule a separate call. You reach out to Akhil. I think Akhil has shared his phone number and email address in this chat. So we can connect maybe on a separate call. We can go in depth and maybe discuss on these things. So that way it helps you and your business case. All right.
Thanks.
Thank you. All right. So anybody else other than Mahesh have got any other questions for us?
Yeah, I think we have one question from Veda Prakash.
Mm-hmm.
Can we perform configuration assessment by referring any benchmark?
So the current benchmark, like I said, is, of course, with regard with the same question which Mahesh has been asking. We are comparing it with CVSS score. That's the benchmark that we use. But in terms of the tactics, we are also using MITRE attack framework, MITRE, which is very globally well known. We are also partnered with a flagship company by name OpenVAS. It's part of a very popular chain. So we directly have an integration and partnership with them. When it comes to the pen testing also, we are accredited with CREST in the APAC and EMEA region. Now, with these two accreditation coming into the fold, the solution itself gives us validity with regard to multiple benchmarks. I hope that answers the question over there. Right? Any other questions, Akhil, that we can take? Akhil, are you still with us?
Yeah, so we have one more question from Deepak. So, uh, what does special features have with other, like compared to other VAPT tools, what is the other special features we have in this?
So first and foremost, it's fast, right? You're not waiting for weeks and months to get a result. Number two is price. Number three is easy. Even if you're not so technically, uh, you have done a lot of you are not done a lot of certifications and cybersecurity and all that. No worries, because the tool is, even the UI, the UX is so easy. Even a non-technical technician can go ahead and perform these things, right? And then with other providers, they only give you one-time pen test, right? They are not going to give you multiple. For every pen test, they will charge you more and more. With us, it's just a subscription. That's it. You can run as many number of pen tests that you want. You can always go ahead and drill down. If you have multiple clients also, you can also go ahead and provide this to your clients. So this way, our solution definitely is much better, and we are also part of enterprise grade solutions in terms of network pen testing. And I'm sure you will also go ahead and read about our reviews, and that itself will talk about it. So that's some of the key highlights that I want to address. If you would like to know more, you can let us know what is the tools that you have evaluated. We can give a straight battle card between our solution and the other brands that you would have, and we can do that on a one-on-one call that when we schedule. All
All right.
right.
So, Hemant, we have one last question.
Sorry to disturb, Hemant. Last question, Mahesh, this side.
Mhm.
Last question on the licensing model. Is it a per device licensing model or how? What is
No,
your
so
licensing?
when it comes to, so we are actually bundling this solution, and in terms of pen testing, it's a number of devices. Of course, you are right. Total number of devices. When it comes to vulnerability assessment, it's based on total number of sites we have. Per site, we can have about 250 devices. So in this way, we bundle it. But like I said, when we have a one-on-one communication, we can understand your requirement. We can customize the licensing model and help you with the pricing and all that during our one-on-one communication, because this is now a portal where we are interacting with multiple different business players. This is our generic quotation. However, if let's say your business model is quite different, we can definitely work out and discuss strategies with you on how we can help you figure it out. So Mahesh, I would always recommend you reach out to Keel. We will have a separate call and we can definitely understand your use cases and business needs, and we can give you a soft quotation accordingly.
All right. So, Hemant, we have one last from Veda Prakash again. Sorry, from Harsh. They want to learn a cloud computing in AWS. Can you schedule a meeting with that? No, that is not this one. Can we perform configuration assessment by referring? Okay, that is also done. Okay, so how does external scan differ from internal scans?
Internal scans are within your network for all the devices. External scans are for your websites, public facing IPs, external IPs, DNS. So you don't have to install any agent for external scans. Directly from our DC, we are going to run a pen test on your website, identify any possible threats, risks, vulnerabilities, and let you know how to remediate and resolve them before somebody else takes down your website and starts demanding money. And that has happened so many times. Even you can take a look in some of the surveys there. So many of our friends and colleagues would have spoken about this to you in the breaks, right? Saying that, hey, you know what? I heard that this was one of the website that was taken down by uh, a kind of a, you know, evil ransomware gang who are these cyber criminals who can take down your website as well. It's very easy for them. If you have not prevent having preventive mechanisms, that's when it becomes very easy. For which our external scans can help perform and give you suggestions and vulnerabilities and risks and tell you how to fix them as well. I hope that answers. But if you need to learn more and understand more, let's have a separate one-on-one call with Prakash. And I believe Akhil's phone number and email address is something that everybody has. Akhil, have you already shared?
Yes, it is on the chat. It is on the chat.
I think you might have to keep sending it because a lot of people are not getting these email address and phone numbers. Or put it on a slide maybe and display it. That way it's pretty easy for them. Okay, any other questions? All right, so let's call it a day then. Thank you, gentlemen, for taking your time and joining today's call. And we will soon meet again for another product webinar shortly. In the interim, if you have any more further questions or would you like to discuss about these with us, do reach out to Akhil and the phone number. And I think he's now sharing the screen finally. Thank you, Akhil. This is what we needed. And finally, we have the name, phone number, and email address. Please make a note or take a photo from your cell phone and do reach out to Akhil, and he will help schedule calls for us. And we can discuss about how to help you with your business case in your issues. With that, good evening and have a wonderful rest of the day.
Okay, thank you, Hemant, and thank you all for joining us today. So, as we wrap up the session, we would like to sincerely thank each one of you for taking the time to be with us. So, your presence, questions, and engagement truly made today's webinar insightful. A quick reminder, the webinar recordings and the related materials will be shared with you shortly via mail. Keep an eye on your inbox. So until next time, take care and thank you once again. So my mobile number and email ID is available on the screen. Please make a note of it and you can reach out to me anytime. We would be happy to assist you from there. Okay. Thank you. Thank you again.